Yeah, it does. It does. Definitely the downtown area. When I get off of the Chicago Red Line and head towards Michigan Avenue, I feel very small.
Why the vastness of people?
Yeah, the people, how large the streets are, how tall the buildings are, how developed and, I don't know, kind of like established everything is. It's just like you look at these things and wonder how they could have ever been built. But they did, and they were, just because of, I don't know, human, effort, ingenuity. And there's a lot of that in Chicago.
I like to think about how long it took people to build those skyscrapers, because when they were originally built, it was probably done with a pulley and like a bunch of underpaid workers.
1,000%.
Like, there's no way they could have. Like, we didn't have modern construction then, and even then, you see the cranes downtown building new skyscrapers. And how the fuck are they up so high without falling in line?
Honestly, I don't think it's the city that's really overwhelming. I think in general, like I just remember the last time I was in New York, I thought New York was way more overwhelming than what it was here. Um, and I don't know what it is. I think it might be just be the people, it might just be the density. Like there's not really like it's very spread out in Chicago. It's also not as big of a city, but at the same time, um, yeah, there's like this weird attitude of kind of like a bustling city when you're in downtown, especially where you kind of like feel like, oh, I gotta go somewhere, point A to point B. That's very much like across most cities, but that's kind of the more overwhelming aspect. I think is probably just when you jump into downtown and you're like, everybody's got something to do, you know. Um, I think that's probably the most overwhelming part of it, but I wouldn't say it's the city itself that's like that. I think it's just the people that are in it.
Does it feel like a lot? Is it ever overwhelming being in the city?
Um, I will say when I first got to Chicago, it was a lot because I would like look around, and with the pace change of like Europe, which is really slow, and here it's very fast paced, it was a lot to take in. But as the years went by, I will say that me being downtown is very, very relaxing in a sense. I like traffic. Over COVID, it was really hard for me to just enjoy myself as much as I did because people were hiding their faces. You're kind of like seeing only someone's like half of their face, and things are getting alleviated, and like people are going outside, and like it's getting nice out. So me, I just really enjoyed the fact that there's people that can be outside together and enjoy downtown, like Michigan Avenue, State Street. I love that so much, and I don't know, any city like that, like you can't really compare to Chicago just because it's like just super fun, and
Yeah.
maybe the winter is like super trash, but at least like summer is just unbeatable here.
Well, I know that you're like planning on living here for a minute, so would you say that that's like part of the reason you want to stay is to like keep exploring, or what?
Personally, it's to continue developing an appreciation for the area that I currently live, but I would never turn down exploring more of the city. There's obviously a million different places to go, and I'm not opposed to visiting every single one of them if the time is right.
I like honestly coming back like over break. I appreciate the city so much more. Yeah, I could see that too. I mean, it's just it's a beautiful city compared to most. I think it's one of the more beautiful ones for sure. We really luck out. I think I'm always very proud to just say that I'm from Chicago, despite like all of its imperfections.
I would say I fully agree with everything. Like, I mean, everybody here has their own direction, and like you can see it on the streets when people walk around. You can see it in like their faces.
Everyone's got their shit to do.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own shit going on. That's what matters. Like, I don't know. Walk with a purpose. That's what I always say. Walk with a purpose. Get to where you got to go with a purpose, and make the best of it. And always end like start your day on a good note, end your day on a good note. Like you see things outside. Like honestly, like after the mask mandate, I was walking outside, I saw more people, I saw people's faces. That shit made me like glow. Like I was super happy. Like the weather gives me seasonal depression for real, and like when the spring hit and it was hitting the 60s and all that, like it was really nice just to like know that I can like be outside, smoke my J, smoke my blunt, walk outside, and like got my earbuds. I'm like waltzing through the streets and like I don't give a fuck what people think. Like you gotta enjoy yourself. Like and yeah, and that's what matters. Like even over last summer, I would go to Wells Park down the street and like see all the families there on Sunday, people playing music on the patio and shit. It's super fun. I love seeing movement and knowing that the city is doing good, even though the city's, you know, up and down a lot.
Do you ever like see people on the street like every day that you run into on their way to work, like same way to work, same day, or is it always new people?
Um, it's always new people. I mean, to be honest, the other day I just ran into a. I mean, I was, I was on the lake biking and I ran into a guy that I haven't seen in a while. That he was going heading to work, so I was like, oh, okay. So it happens a lot.
Would you say that like you'd be open to like meeting new people if they make a good impression? Like,
Yeah.
about Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, I've met a bunch of new people over the years, and like, they're always like super chill. Like, no, I don't care like about getting their credentials and all that, but like, if I see them and stuff, and they got my respect, like that's what matters. And people know how nice I can be to someone that has a good impression on me, and they know I can be to someone that gives me a bad impression, especially if you know me for a while. Cause I don't give a fuck about nobody. It's the people that care about me.
Oh yeah, no, I can talk to you about the train. I take the train every day. You know, yeah, there's a couple things I mean I could touch on. I mean, I can try to give you a different point of view. I can talk about a little bit about the creativity in the city with the art scene. Um,
Honestly,
talk a lot about
talk about whatever.
yeah,
Talk
talk
about
about whatever.
no, that I mean, yes, like that's your. It's gonna express your opinion about Chicago the best, right?
Yeah, I think yeah, I can touch a little bit on that. Let's talk. Well, yeah, I'll talk about the train though a little bit. I mean, the train. Um, we have a decent CTA like I guess thing that we have going on here. I take it every day. You know, there's a lot of people that take it every day. We do have it. It's a pretty easy system to kind of run on. It's not really anything too tangled. You know, you got the loop, you got all the lines coming out, which really works out really nice. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think the train, you know, it gives you a really good view of the different neighborhoods as you pass by. You know, as you're riding in the car, you can see those things. It's really great transportation. I think it's very underrated. And I told myself I would probably never be getting a car if I still lived here, mainly because they have the train, you know, and it's, you know, like, I don't really see the point in really driving anywhere if you have so many different ways to get around, you know. And the train is one of the better ways to get around. It's really easy, um, and the stations are cool. You know, I take the brown line. I'm really familiar with the brown line, but sometimes I take the red, sometimes I take the blue, if we go to the airport or whatnot. So, you know, it really is. It's not for everybody. I know some people that are kind of scared to take the train, and that's totally understandable because you'll run into like the weirdest people on the train, and I still run into them to this day. But you know what? As long as you just keep your head down and you kind of just, you know, take care of your belongings and you do all that, the train can be really accessible. So that's kind of what I get on the train. Yeah, I like the train. Take it every day.
Super meaningful, because it's build bonds over time. It's a great way to have a conversation. Oh, sorry. And it's just fun to do goofy shit. Like I love just doing dumb shit in the city. Like me like smoking blunts in the train, going to O'Hare, like thinking that it was gonna be like cheaper if the Uber was the same fucking price, and we're just there like chilling. I don't know, like I love the train, like way more than the bus because the bus is like suspect. But so is the train. I mean, in Chicago, anything can happen, but I love the train. The train means a lot to me, actually, I will say, because lots of shit happened. I remember one time. Remember that time I fell asleep in the train?
feel like you get lost in the vastness of the city?
Me personally, no, because I'm so familiar with it. But actually, yes. When I'm in a neighborhood such as Lincoln Park or Wicker Park, it's so complicated for me to find my way around, and I don't know why. Just because no matter how many times I see it, I feel like I could get lost if I take one wrong turn, but not in a bad way. There's just more to appreciate for the city. It's just that it's so vast, like you said, and it's just like overwhelming by how urban it is and how one area, like no areas like really resemble each other in Chicago, even though the whole city is like, I'd say, pretty modern.
How long do you think it took you to learn how to like memorize the whole city?
Not that long, to be honest. Maybe like when I moved here to maybe a year or two, and that's simply because my dad was a cab driver, so he would always give me tips and tricks on how to learn the city. And then when I took urban sociology at Harold, my teacher was very close to the city as well, and he taught me how to learn numbers. And yeah, I mean, I can pretty much get anywhere other than